Hey everyone, it's that time again. The second booster pack for the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus is out and packs a lot of interesting changes, so let's find out what they are. The first item on the list is Jumper Cables, which is a passive item that affects your active item charge. When you have Jumper Cables on a run, your active item gets 1 increment or tick of charge for every 15 enemies killed. So if you watch as we enter this last room, the 15th enemy is the second to last spider, and you'll see we get a tick of charge on our D6 when that spider is killed. So Jumper Cables is a nice complement to your active item and fits in with the other plentiful battery charge items in Isaac so far. Next up is an item from the shop pool called Coupon. Coupon is a 6-room charge active item that allows you to get a randomly selected item from a shop, devil deal, or black market for free. The item functions similarly to the trinket store credit, but with that added bit of RNG thrown in. Here you can see we attempt to use Coupon on our shop. Our odds to get an item aren't great with 6 different options, and we get the bomb. Might have been better, might have been worse. It's worth noting that in contrast to something like store credit, Coupon is a reusable active item and shines best in devil deals. Here we find ourselves with a 50-50 chance of black powder or ghost baby, and we're able to go ahead and snag black powder without costing ourselves any health. You can see how Coupon could be very powerful with things like 48-hour energy, car battery, or even sharp plug. A great potential way to snag a devil deal or multiple devil deals on a low HP run, or maybe even with everyone's favorite unlockable character, the Keeper. Third on our list is an item with some interesting breaking and min-maxing potential in Moving Box. Moving Box is a 4-room charge active item in the shop pool, and it allows you to transport pickups between rooms or even floors easily. Here you can see we have a wealth of pickups on the floor, everything from cards and pennies to runes and hearts. We use the Moving Box and pack everything up, and when we've accumulated a charge, we can drop everything for ourselves. One small thing to note is that the box's capacity is not truly infinite. In my testing, I filled a room with pennies and wasn't able to take all of them down to the next floor. Further testing will be required to really nail down the specific limitations. The box, though, could really open up your options in what you can take with you throughout a run, and I look forward to seeing how advanced Isaac players put it to work for them. Our next item is Leprosy, and I want to mention that I had trouble spawning this item into my game because it's misspelled with a C instead of an S, adding to the established history of grammatical and spelling mistakes that have always been present in Isaac. Anyone remember Monster Manuel? Leprosy is a passive item that spawns a body part orbital when the player takes damage. The body parts will then do damage to enemies and even block shots, but they are very weak and will disappear quickly as you see here. Something cool I noticed is that these body parts will be added to your character even if you already have a full suite of orbitals, stacking up as an outer circle, although the body parts themselves are limited to a max of 3. Leprosy is a cool addition to the game, and in particular, I love the character art on this one. The technology items in Isaac are some of the coolest synergies to watch, and the newest addition, Technology 0, seems to fit right in. Technology 0 connects the player's tears with electricity that damages enemies. So I tested this item with things like Brimstone and Tech X, and those don't work. So when you're on a Tech 0 run, you're gonna want to be looking for items that keep your tears as tears in order to make the most of this synergy. I had a lot of fun testing this item with my reflection and Cricket's body against the Stain in this fight, and then a little while after that I loaded up a run with Tammy's head, chocolate milk, and Cricket's body to have a little fun as well. Now, I'm sure this is just scratching the surface of Tech 0, and I look forward to finding it on future runs to play around with a new synergizing item. Rounding out the items, we have Telekinesis, which finally gives players a small way to fight back against bullet hell bosses. Telekinesis is an active item that charges quickly during combat, and when used it stops all tiers that get close to Isaac for 2 seconds, holding them in place. Once the item's charge is depleted, the shots are fired back as tiers, doing damage to the enemies. So while it might be tricky to use, Telekinesis could be the item that you need to save yourself in those clutch situations against relentless boss fights or bullet hell rooms. Now that items are wrapped up, the sole trinket added in the second booster pack is the Filigree Feather. The pickup quote says "angelic spoils," and what this means is that when you're holding this trinket and fight an angel statue, the statue will now drop an item instead of a key piece. This is an interesting trinket that provides a unique way to obtain an angel room item, and may be especially useful if you've already completed your Mega Satan achievements and have no need or desire for key pieces. A new transformation was also added in this pack. Taking 3 One Makes You Larger pills now grants you the Stompy Transformation. Now this transformation gives you cosmetic dust clouds that appear behind the player when walking, but contrary to the name, the player does not smash rocks. However, you do have a chance to emit a circle of spikes upon taking damage, and that circle can break rocks or open the secret room as you see here. It's not the most powerful transformation, but I'm always glad to see more added, and you now have a reason to take those One Makes You Larger pills. Moving on from there are a few quality of life changes that were made in this booster pack. First, once you've accumulated a certain number of cosmetic items in your run, a dressing table will spawn in the first room, the spawn room of each floor. This table allows you to refresh your character's look, changing which items appear cosmetically and allowing you to pick the combo you like best. While testing the new changes to bombs, I also noticed that the first time you bomb a dressing table, it will drop some random consumables, which you'll see in a moment. So, those bomb changes. The cosmetic effects of bomb items will now stack. So here you can see I give myself butt bombs, hot bombs, and Bob's Curse, poison bombs. Instead of the overriding that we got before, we now get the poison aesthetic, fire, and the bombs look shitty. If we go ahead and add fast bombs, you can see that there's a little lightning bolt on the top of the bomb sprite. And likewise, adding glitter bombs makes them sparkle. Now, if you're paying attention, you'll see here where I bomb the dressing table. At first, I thought it was just glitter bombs playing tricks on me, but upon further digging, the dressing table does drop some random consumables the first time you use an explosive on it, and you don't need to worry because it won't be destroyed. So bomb changes and dressing tables for some quality of life changes in this booster pack. Another small change made in this booster pack is a tweak to mob trap and boss trap rooms. Similar to boss rush, the waves of the challenge rooms will now charge your active item with completion of each wave. So here you can see we enter the room without a charge on Shoop Da Whoop, and as we're fighting in the room, we receive a single charge, manage to stack up another charge with the second wave, and are able to use Shoop Da Whoop on the final wave. It's a small nerf to challenge rooms, but it's a nerf that makes sense and fits with how the charge mechanic works in other areas of the game. Rounding out the quality of life changes is a cosmetic change to Jar of Flies. When using Jar of Flies, you now accumulate flies in the jar sprite for the active item in the top left, up to the full 20 flies. Now this change is not going to be run altering by any means, but cosmetic changes like this and the changes to bombs really help to put a nice shine and polish onto Isaac. There are a few other small changes that were implemented in this pack, and I've listed the ones known so far here. I say so far because there could be things in this booster pack that haven't been discovered yet, and in fact, developer Edmund McMillan left a cryptic hint on his blog, stating that the booster pack, quote, also features something else little or large, I can't remember. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you know what that something else in this booster pack is, want to speculate on what it could be, or just have a question or comment, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. As always, if you like this video, leave a like or a comment, as those always help me to gauge whether people like receiving this information in video form. And if you'd like to see more Binding of Isaac booster pack spotlights, item spotlights, and other content when it comes out on the channel, please subscribe. I'm Accidental Grenade, and as always, thank you so much for watching.